All right. Court is now in session. All rise for Honorable Judge Duke Davin.
Going down to 2.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right, we'll have Mr. Ripper please come take your spot right here on the witness stand. And we'll have Officer Casey proceed with the cross-examination.
You have to re-swear me in, right?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you ganja?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, Mr.
Officer
Ripper.
Casey, proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Ripper. So, you testified that by the time I was flipping around to pull you over, you were coming from the recycling center. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and could you describe to the court where the recycling center is located?
In Paleto Bay.
Okay, which area of Paleto Bay?
I don't know the exact postal, but it is on the right side of.
Okay.
I think everybody knows where the recycling center is.
1016.
Okay, and Mr. Ripper, would you agree that taking Sonora Freeway back to the city toward the mech shop would be a more direct route to...
No.
Well, how so, Mr. Ripper?
Because after I got done working over there, I had to get gas.
Well, Mr. Ripper, you didn't let me finish my question. Would you agree that taking Sonora Freeway back to the mechanic shop would be a more direct route, seeing as how it's more of a straight highway, less higher speed limit and less turns? Would you agree with that, or?
I mean, yes.
Okay, so what was the reason for you taking Great Ocean, especially with today's gas prices?
I enjoy.
Hold on, I'm gonna cut you off there. What's the relevance here, Officer Casey? Because there's no crime driving. He could have took the scenic route. He's allowed to do that.
I'm getting to that.
All right. So would you say it's a more direct route? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't need to give you a reason as to why he took the other direction.
You're correct, Your Honor. I apologize. So, is this the route you take normally?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, when I turned around to pull you over, attempt to pull you over, why did you speed your vehicle up?
I didn't see you turn around.
Okay. So you didn't see the flashing lights and hear the sirens or nothing like that? Okay.
Did not hear any of that or see any of that.
Okay. And so you testified that you switched from your R35 to your mega truck, whatever it's called.
That is false.
That correct? Well, what vehicle did you
I went from the Hell Ram that I go with to the R35 that I was about to take up to Toledo, then to the AM Hellcat, and to the Mega Ram. Later on.
I don't remember you mentioning the Hellcat in your testimony.
He did, I remember.
He did? So, from which point did you exit the R35 and then get into the Hellcat?
After I came back from being fearing for my life.
Okay, so then...
I think he's trying to ask whereabouts did you make the switch?
Correct.
The mechanic shop.
Okay, so then... After that, do you recall myself and Officer Young attempting to pull you over for the second time?
With 2 guns drawn at me instantly? Yes, so I feared for my life again, so I took off.
Okay.
Didn't ask you why you left, just asked you if you recalled it.
Yes.
Why would you fear for your life when we're officers of the peace?
Because it was innocent, guns drawn, pointed at my head, ready to kill.
But don't you think, Mr. Ripper, after with some explaining, and if you had just maybe taken a moment to talk to officers, if you really thought you were innocent, you maybe could have explained to us what was going on?
I had 2 guns drawn at my head.
That wasn't the answer to my question, Mr. Ripper. My
Okay, he doesn't
question
need
was
to explain to himself as to why he left the scene. His explanation is he felt like he was threatened, and it's a warranted explanation. Whether it's justified remains to be seen, but that is his explanation, so there's no sense to keep digging at it.
Understood, Your Honor.
Any further questions, Officer Casey?
Why do you fear police so much, Mr. Ripper?
Objective, subjective.
I can ask that question. He's claimed he fears for his life from police multiple times.
No, he claimed that he was in fear for his life because he had 2 loaded weapons pointed at his head when he was unarmed.
Okay, how about when I flipped around and attempted to pull him over on Great Ocean
He said he
Highway?
didn't see you. That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Okay. I'll move on. I have no further questions at this point.
Okay, thank you, Officer Casey. Mr. Do you have any rebuttals there, Mr. Stallone?
No, Your Honor, just a one.
Okay, Mr. Ripper, you can please take your seat. Thank you for your time.
Okay, Your Honor.
And Mr. Stallone, would you like to cross-examine Mr. Oh, he's not even here.
Young is right here.
Oh. Oh, okay, he's right there. Never mind, my bad. Would you like to cross-examine?
Your Honor, I would only like to ask him just a couple of questions, nothing too long or elaborate or anything.
So then that would be a yes, Mr. Stallone, is all I would have needed there.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Young, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you ganja?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be seated.
That is not what I want to do.
You want to think about the chair on the end of that.
There we go.
There you go. All right, Mr. Stallone, proceed.
Sorry, Your Honor. Officer Young, right?
Yes.
That is correct. I wasn't aware of your actual formal rank. That's why I wanted to clarify. Do you recall exactly which vehicle was that my client was accused of driving with this vehicle in?
Excuse me, can you rephrase that question? Because you just asked him what vehicle he put a vehicle in.
Sorry. Do you recall what vehicle my client had a weapon in, supposedly?
Like when we arrested him today.
Yes.
That
Are you
was
asking which vehicle the weapon was found in question? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, the make and model of the vehicle, in his opinion, yes, Your Honor.
It was
Mr. Officer Young, which vehicle was the illegal weapon located in?
Objection.
The Mega
on
Ram.
repeating. We've already submitted that as evidence, and if he wants
He's
to
allowed to
answer that
ask it.
question-
He's asking his recollection of it. It's a fair question.
It was the Dodge Mega Ram.
Okay, proceed, Mr. Stallone.
And to clarify, this will be demonstrated on the video or the body cam that will be submitted into evidence, right?
Yeah, it's definitely on there.
It's not, Your Honor, because we ran into a giant staff situation in between these things, and we both shut our body cams off.
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there. Regardless, I know the fucking weapon was found in the vehicle. I was fucking there. I seen it.
All right. If that's just the case, then I do not have any more questions. You can proceed, Your Honor.
Alrighty, do you have any closing arguments?
Your Honor, if I may, I'd just like to go over a few more things with Officer Young, with the jury as well.
Mr. Stallone, well, yeah, we'll wait for closing arguments after Mr. Casey's done his re-examination.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Officer Young. So would you like to recant anything that you stated upon confusion on my prior examination with you at all?
Objection. I'm
Yes.
trying to corroborate a witness's testimony.
So basically, Your Honor, we went over the body cam. So we will also go over if need be, which he has requested.
Yeah, it won't be
I
an
will
issue.
I will also add this is a brand new officer as of yesterday, and a lot has been going on. A lot of vehicles that the defendant has ran from us in today, so the cause of confusion should be warned in prejudice.
Spit it out. What's the issue here?
So, what describe to me basically where your error was?
All right, my
with
error.
describing the code 5 stop.
All right, my error was when I was 10-7 is when he was chasing the R35, and when we had the code 5 stop, he was in the Hellcat, whatever he said, AM Hellcat with the.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. You messed up the names of the cars. He's already said he was in multiple different vehicles.
I
We all
just
get the
wanted
point,
it.
Rob.
I just wanted.
No,
it
and I
cleared
appreciate
to-
that, Officer
that's
Casey,
all.
and thank you, Mr. Young, for coming forth with that information and owning up to your mistakes. But the court notes it, but doesn't find too much relevance in it, as everybody's pretty well agreeing that multiple vehicles were involved, and all vehicles are owned by said defendant, and he agrees to owning all vehicles, aside from the fact that he just purchased the mega cab today. Was his recollection, I do believe. So if any further questions for Mr. Young, Mr. Casey?
No, nothing further. Thank you.
Anything from you, Mr. Stallone? Mr. Stallone?
We can't hear you. Or I can't hear you.
Nope, I don't hear
Can you
nothing.
hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now.
I'm sorry about that, Your Honor, and everybody else among the court's audience here today. I do not have any other closing statements. If you want to proceed towards the evidence of the body cam.
We will review the evidence with the jury while we make our decision. As long as there's no closing arguments and other comments that need to be made, I'll adjourn court at this time for deliberation. Everybody in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is adjourned. If gentlemen of the jury, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, would like to follow me into my chambers, we can see how this will proceed. And if the defendant, as well as the, well, you know what, you guys can just sit here and wait in the court.
Understood, Your Honor.
Actually, if you guys want to go wait out in the front entryway by the far right corner of the door would be best, just to ensure nobody hears any of the deliberation.
Okay.
You gonna go out there and say your thing there, buddy? Or you gonna climb
What
all
the
over the
fuck?
books?
Like, trying to be a Spider-Man?
Just go out there and say fucking rise up.
All rise for Honorable Judge Duke Dabin.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all to keep standing here. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, in the case of the city of Los Santos, or the city of Elysian versus Jack Ripper, in the charge of reckless evading, how do you find?
For the charge of reckless evading ×3, we find the defendant guilty of 2 charges, Your Honor.
Thank you. In the 3 charges of disobeying an LEO, how do you find the defendant?
Guilty, Your Honor.
On 2 charges or all 3?
Oh, you said 2 charges of disobeying LEO, correct, Your Honor?
Correct.
On the 2 charges of disobeying LEO, we find the defendant guilty, Your Honor.
And on the charge of disturbing the peace, I'm removing that from the docket. charge of criminal possession of a weapon class A firearm. How do you find the defendant?
Guilty, Your Honor.
On the 2 charges of attempted robbery of a store, how do you find the defendant?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
And the disorderly conduct will also be removed from the docket, so that'll give us 2 reckless evading, 2 disobeying an LEO, the criminal possession, and that'll be all. Does everybody understand and in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Plaintiff or counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ripper, do you understand these charges? Mr. Ripper?
He said yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Sorry. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Everybody's in agreement. I'd like to thank you all for coming out today. Sentencing will be adjusted accordingly. I will be
Your Honor,
helping
if
to.
I could get an ankle at probation so I can continue work at the mech shop, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll figure something out, but you will be returned to police custody. Where at what time you will be returned to the station, and we will convene over there for sentencing. And court is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
This is our actual first official court case. This is awesome.